Marist guard Rebecca Hand has been named MAC Rookie of the Week 5 times this season. Now, with 2 hands on the starting line, it's her twin sister's turn. Hannah Hand is this week's MAC Rookie of the Week, a testament to her offensive improvement throughout her first season as a Red Fox. According to her sister, Hannah is a strong finisher, which is exactly what Marist needs as the team hunts for a competitive spot in the postseason tournament. A 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and a marathon over the course of 4 consecutive days in Walt Disney World. This is known as the Dopey Challenge, and William Heimke has completed it 4 times to raise money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. This year's race was not in his original plan, however, and neither was running 48.6 miles with 2 herniated discs in his neck.
With less than a month to prepare for the trials, Zhao is not letting the nerves get the best of her. Instead, she's happy to have finally achieved her goal of qualifying. In Burnt Hills, I'm Olivia Jaquith, Times Union. Vikings quarterback Teddy Bridgewater was diagnosed with a concussion Sunday after Rams defensive back LaMarcus Joyner elbowed him in the head. The Vikings narrowly defeated the Rams in spite of physicality that Vikings coach Mike Zimmer said crossed the line. And in case you were wondering what happened to former Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice, he is still not playing for an NFL team after his high-profile arrest for domestic violence. But if he doesn't get a second chance, he said he'd like to work for the league to help raise awareness of the issue. Most people travel to Lake George to relax and enjoy the scenery. But in June, David Dammerman decided to swim the length of the lake in 18 hours. The 47-year-old Saratoga Springs resident shattered John Freihoffer's 1981 record by nearly 3 hours.
All I have to do is take the next stroke. I have to make it to the next feeding. I have to make the next mile. And if you break it down to those smaller elements, all of a sudden the next step seems at least reasonable.
That word, feeding, refers to the half-hour increments in which Dammerman's accompanying kayaker tosses him a water bottle attached to a rope.
We were able to swim and try to navigate potentially challenging channels in the middle of the night. And we also got to experience boat traffic near the end of the swim during the day.
Between the wind and the cool lake temperature, marathon swimmers must keep moving at all times. The kayakers and boaters are present for navigational purposes.
I expected to swim it faster this particular time, but the training didn't come together in the way that I had hoped. So will I do it again? That really depends on whether I can convince people to come back and spend the entire night with me on the lake again. Lake George is so beautiful and it's so close, it's hard to imagine going somewhere else.
Dammerman won't be competing in the Lake George Marathon swim this September, but that doesn't mean he's looking for a new challenge. What's next? Swimming the length of the 32-mile lake in under 18 hours. In Lake George, I'm Olivia Jaquith, Times Union Sports. For 80 years, the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, has memorialized some of the greatest athletes in baseball history. Today, 2 more join the ranks of Babe Ruth and Ted Williams, Mike Piazza and Ken Griffey Jr. Although both Piazza and Griffey were considerably well-rounded players, their road to Cooperstown was fairly divergent.
He had unique challenges being a first-round pick. I had unique challenges being a last-round pick. I mean, there's pressure on him, there was pressure on me. It was maybe a little different or maybe nuanced a different way, but ultimately it came down to people that love you, coaches that supported you.
Piazza holds the record for home runs by a catcher, beating out such names as Johnny Bench and Yogi Berra.
Having seen all the guys that are in the Hall of Fame, watch my dad play with some of these guys and watch their numbers and watch me pass some of those numbers. And to be able to choose what team I wanted to go in was something special.
Griffey's hitting record is as impressive as Piazza's, as his 630 home runs rank as 6th most in MLB history.
See the way he approached the game, the way he took the game seriously and hustled and had a lot of fun doing it, but was very serious on the field.
And for those who say that baseball is dying,
not to put down any other sports Hall of Fames, but my wife and I met when I was later on in my career, and she was like, man, this Hall of Fame's a big deal. And I go, it's the only one people care about.
Griffey and Piazza are both grateful and nervous for tomorrow's induction ceremony. Their advice from fellow Hall of Famers: keep the speech under 4 minutes. In Cooperstown, I'm Olivia Jaquith, Times Union Sports. Have you ever seen an abstract piece of modern art so ugly that you had an over-the-top reaction to it? Well, Columbia students can relate. When a new piece was added to the campus, some students revolted against the poorly made piece of art. They currently have a 1,200-person petition to remove a reclining figure by Henry Moore. As if having a piece of your work ridiculed and protested against wasn't enough, Moore's original cast of the sculpture, which is valued at $3 million, was stolen by thieves and scrapped simply to hinder the process of bringing the sculpture to the campus.
It seems that the selfie craze has taken a rather tragic turn. A teen in India has died while taking a selfie posing with his father's gun. 15-year-old Raman Singh Deep Singh was posing with his father's .32 caliber handgun on Friday and accidentally pulled the trigger. The safety wasn't on and Singh was rushed to the hospital. He died on Sunday after succumbing to his injuries. In recent political news, the new hot-button issue is the rights of people who identify as transgender and their call for gender-neutral bathrooms. The current mayoral race in Houston, Texas has drawn a lot of attention to the issue as it remains a focal point of the campaign. The issue recently gained some attention when the state of North Carolina barred transgender people from entering a restroom that belonged to a gender that they are not biologically aligned with. Even singer Bruce Springsteen called off a North Carolina concert in protest of this law. Just as Ted Cruz was getting a running mate, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump was delivering an address on his plans for foreign policy. Based around the tagline of America First, Trump's plan includes pressuring American allies to pitch in more of their national budget to the military, renegotiating the Iran deal, and ultimately dealing with countries with a strongman approach. He also slammed the Obama administration for a supposed lack in foreign policy goals.